Hey there, ladies. Let's continue talking about how to market with ease and authenticity. And now I want to talk about our sales and marketing funnel, which is absolutely critical to a healthy business. We want all parts of our sales and marketing funnel up and running and working on all cylinders. So that's actually what we're going to be talking about right now in this video. And first I want to talk about why it's so important that we have all aspects of our sales and marketing funnel up and running. And it's because sales is not transactional. It's relational, especially the work that you all are doing. Transactional being like, you sell a burger and fries, and then you sell, you just keep finding more and more clients, and then it ends with that transaction. It's not about that. You want to be relational, and the more you can develop a reputation and relationships with others, most of your marketing is actually going to happen automatically. That's really when the momentum begins. So it's about doing that, building a reputation for yourself in relationships, people who know you, people who say good things about you. And most businesses grow by word of mouth, and you want that word of mouth to be positive, right? And it's such a fun way when your business actually explodes that way. But relationships takes time, right? It takes time before you have that reputation. It takes time before you have these people who are like referral machines for you, who just want to share how great you are, your products or your services with others. So really think about your sales and marketing process and the sales and marketing funnel like the dating relationship, the dating process. If I think about me and my husband, there was a time 12 years ago that we did not even know each other existed. Right now you've got ideal clients who do not know you exist. Then there was a time when we had the opportunity to hear of each other. Right? I've heard of Eric Leffman, and he heard of Claire McIntyre. And we had the opportunity to get to know each other a bit. And in that part of the relationship, there got to be a point where he asked, for my contact information. He asked for my phone number. So there's an opportunity in the dating process for me to either say I'm not interested or I'm interested. If I'm interested, we exchange that contact information, and then we date, right? We develop and deepen the relationship. We can spend some time in that part of the phase where I get to know him. He gets to know me. See if we really resonate with each other. And then there was a time when he got down on his knees and he asked me to marry him. Right? He proposed to me. We got married. You could think of that as that's when someone actually gives you their credit card. They want to buy. They want to become a client. So think of it as the dating relationship, the dating process, because it truly is a process. And initially, you very well may have parts of this funnel. There's three main parts to the funnel. You may have parts that are completely non-existent. And then we don't really have to wonder any longer, right, why your business isn't a thorough success. Because if parts of our sales and marketing funnel are not up and running, then people aren't working through our funnel, and the bottom part of our funnel is where we have that sales transaction. So once you have things up and running, then you can see, well, where can these be strengthened? Where can they be clogged? So, again, you might have it where it's non-existent, or you have all parts of it, but there's a clog, something that's not working right. And every 90 days or so, I encourage you, this be a new success habit. Every time you're creating a new set of 90-day goals, reassess your sales and marketing funnel. See where you can maximize it, where you can strengthen it. So this is something I want to do every single 90 days, even though I have a sales and marketing funnel that's fully up and running. It could definitely be perfected, right? That's just an ongoing process. So it starts with the top, right? You see those arrows coming in. Those arrows are, again, those are ideal clients who don't know you exist. You want them to know you exist, which is how you start. You fill them in your funnel. You fill your funnel with new ideal leads, hungry leads who are interested in what you have to offer. And how you do that is essentially you work your marketing plan, right? Maybe you go out and you speak, or you go to some live networking events, or you're building relationships on Facebook, or it's through a Google search and you're filling them through your website. There's some way that they were able to get into your funnel, like give you their contact information in exchange for something, and now they've heard of you. And then you move them on to the middle part of your funnel, where this is where you develop a relationship. Now, depending on what it is you have to offer, the price point, the dating relationship might be super short, right? Sometimes they are ready to get married. Or even when I think about me, there was times when I would go and present to a group of women business owners that right away, right, someone just heard of me that moment, And right after my presentation, they're like, great, what do you got going on? When can I start working together? They were ready to get married, right? That was less about me. I mean, part of it was about me, right, because I was working my marketing plan consistently. But it was more about that they were just at that moment that they were hungry. They were ready. A lot of times those situations where they told me, I've been looking for a business coach. This is perfect timing. But that happens in the extreme, right? Maybe 20% of the time someone's ready to get married right away. It doesn't take much before they've heard of me and they're ready to get married. But the majority of the times they just want to check me out, right? There's so many different coaches people can work with. And every coach has their own personality and their own strengths and their own content. And so for the most people, we continue dating, right? And every Thursday they hear from me in an email, and I'm adding value. And the majority of my messages are adding value. And then there's going to be a portion where then they're ready to get married, right? And they're ready to buy and become a client of mine. So first what we want to do is we want to fill the sales funnel right at the top with prospects. So again, your ideal clients just don't know about you yet. So the goal is to be seen by your ideal client. It's about being visible. That's what your marketing plan is about, being visible. So you could do that offline through networking, referrals, through speaking in front of groups, through expos, trade shows. You could do it online, or someone's behind a computer and referrals that way, or social media, or they're Googling something and your article comes up, or through blogging, or videos on YouTube, or podcasting, or joint ventures. So maybe they get a link to your information from someone who is a partner of yours, right? Someone who serves the same market but does something different, and they're sharing it with their community. Or ads, maybe through a Facebook ad, or search engine optimization, SEO, right? And they're typing in, how do I find more clients? And something I've created comes up. Or PR. Maybe there's some PR that's going on for your business. So there's lots of different ways that you could become visible. You want to figure out the right ways for you. Then we want to move them through the funnel. So once now it's a prospect, you fill them in your sales funnel. They know who you are now, and now you want to start developing a relationship. Right? So how do you do that? How do you go move them from 1 to 2? Well, you give them call to actions. You give them invitations to a no-obligation invitation. So for me, what are my no-obligation invitations? I might do a free webinar. People can sign up for an opportunity for us to hop on the phone and talk about their business. That's a no-obligation invitation. Right? So that gives you I've got a free training video people can download on my website. There's lots of no-obligation invitations I've got. That's how they move from 1 to 2. 2 being what? That they have given me permission to keep in touch. They've given me their contact information, right? When I gave my husband, Eric, my phone number, my digits. But we want the choice to be up to them, for them to be in the driver's seat moving 1 to 2. Right? But guide them. Let them know what you've got. Always let them know when someone comes to your website, you want to be real clear about what that call to action is, what that invitation is. That's generally, and you may have a different goal for your website, but the majority of people, their goal is to get that contact information. Right? So you want to have the opportunity for them to be able to raise their hands and say, hey, I'm interested. Hey, this training video appeals to me, so I'm most likely a women business owner. So that's what we do. We fill the funnel, and then we move them from 1 to 2. So now we need to keep in touch and develop that relationship. So again, you fill them by having those multiple no-obligation invitations. And that's even a way to develop a relationship, right? It's not only a way to attract someone who's new, but I want to offer free stuff to even people who are already on my list, right, to continue to offer free webinars or those types of things. It deepens the relationship. But what could your no-obligation invitation be? It would probably be different for all of us. If you're offering a service, again, you just want to figure out some way, an opportunity for them to sample what you have to offer. That's not, hugely time-consuming for you. So there's ways, like when someone downloads the video for me, I've already created the video. I've done it once, right? And then that's it. I've done it once. There's no more work on my end. So see how you can do that, where people can sample what you have to offer, but it's not a huge time commitment on your part. Or products. Is there a way for them to try out your products? It could be a free sample. It could be an experience or event, Mom's Night Out. It can be an information product, which, again, is a lot of what I do, webinars and free training videos. It could be a sample session, a sample of what you've got to offer. So we'll make more sales, truly, when we allow our prospects to experience the product or service a little bit before they buy. Okay? That's key. We will experience more sales when we allow our prospects to experience the product or service or our knowledge or our personality or something a little bit before they buy. And then once they raise their hands, we want to keep in touch. Again, that's increasing that know, like, and trust factor. So we want to figure out what your dating relationship should be. Like I said, mine is pretty traditional. Every Thursday it's an email. But that doesn't make sense for all markets, for you, right? We got to figure out what that is. There's got to be a dating relationship. We just got to figure out what that is. And like I said, some people, the dating process is longer because it's a higher price point or whatever that might be. But we want to increase that know, like, and trust factor, and content and consistency is key, meaning that you're being consistent. So if I'm doing a monthly newsletter, it's that I do a monthly newsletter. And that the content isn't about buy now, buy now, buy now, but it's giving them content, some things to consider to help them with whatever their unique challenges and problems are that you solve. And the communication, almost everything that I talk about always comes down to the 80-20 rule. 80-20, right? So 80% of the time that I'm communicating, or 80% of the content in an email, I want to be pure value. 20% of the time it's, hey, we've got this program going on, right? Sometimes those get a little flopped if I'm launching something big, but I like to limit the major launches, right? I like more things to be where they can, that when the time is right, they're able to sign up. But that's what the 80-20 is. We want to be there adding value, developing that relationship. Right? I would not have liked it if Eric kept calling me saying, marry me, marry me, marry me, right? That would not have worked. So then how do you continue moving them through the funnel and where you are building this relationship with them to where they're ready to get married, they're ready to hand over that credit card, make that sale, right? So again, we want to give them call to actions, give them invitations to move from 2 to 3. A lot of times we forget we do such a great job adding value that we don't ever focus on the sales message. And then you need to be repetitive sales messages. People are so busy they're going to miss it if you just talk about your service once or a program once. So, and think about what might make sense to get them to make that decision. Whether you have promotions or special offers or sales or some sort of deadline or some sort of limited availability. Are there ways that, and again, it can be different for all of us. We really want to figure out a way to get folks through all parts of your sales funnel. So you're moving them through someone who doesn't know you, you're developing a relationship, and they're ready to become a customer. So I encourage you to flush through this thinking for yourself. Got a little worksheet you could flush through, and just put down a scenario, like someone who doesn't know you yet, but they fit your ideal client character. How might they enter your sales funnel? What might be a way that you became visible to them? And jot down a couple different scenarios. Then how might you move them to the next phase, where they're able to sample what you have to offer, where you get permission to keep in touch? And then how might you keep in touch with them? And then how might you ask for that sale? And how can you give them a sense of urgency that feels authentic? So I encourage you to flush through on paper how you can actually get an ideal client and work them all the way through your sales and marketing funnel. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. Again, your sales and marketing funnel is so important for us to make sure all parts are up and running. Again, if you are up and running, that we figure out how to repair it, right? How we streamline it, how we make the most out of it. All right, ladies, just let me know what questions you have. Bye.